Oh, hello there. Hi, I'm Tyler from Smash and Grab Comics. TR is making me laugh. And across the table from me is TR Risk. Let's just roll with it, buddy.
So stupid. We just did a visual gag, so you're gonna have to go to our YouTube channel to find out why we're acting like ass.
Did it come off? Did it work?
I think it did. I think it played. Yeah.
You broke down. You just started laughing.
So stupid. I will say the other thing visually, guys. We did that little episode, our sort of mini episode, where we interviewed the guy from Punks for Autism.
Right.
And I have my Punks for Autism shirt. It came in already. Like they came in
fast.
They come in fast. And there's tracking info, which I love.
Right.
I'm one of those guys that's weirdly anal about that stuff. Like I want to know where my stuff is.
Yeah.
It's all there for you.
Right.
But like, check this out. This is genuinely, so if you can't see on the podcast, this is a punk rock heavy metal style shirt. This is, and Tyler and I were talking about this.
Right.
Charity shirts suck.
Well, they just look boring. They look like something you don't want to wear. And I want to support causes, but you know what? If breast cancer awareness had a really cool Amazonian Wonder Woman type person on it as an icon, dude, I'd wear the shit out of that. But it's not. It's a pink ribbon.
Yeah, it's a pink ribbon on a cheap white shirt.
Yes, and it's like,
whereas this is actually something that I'm going to wear on the regular. I wore this today. I
was just gonna say my Punks for Autism shirt. I'm like, I'm gonna wear the shit out of this. And when I saw it on his Facebook, literally, it was the shirt that drew me to finding, kind of getting him associated with our podcast and vice versa, because I'd wear that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did do research on, because you brought this up. You asked me if it'd be cool if we talked about this.
Yeah.
And I actually went to his website. I researched the charities that this goes to.
Yep.
Because there are a couple specifically that I do not support at all. I'm really against a couple of these charities.
Do you want to say
the big one is Autism Speaks?
Okay. What would be wrong with them?
They want to cure autism. They don't want to help people with autism.
Meaning they want to stop it before someone's born with it?
Right.
Okay, so what's wrong with that? Like eugenics kind of like thing?
It's a eugenics kind of thing. And also the money that they spend, it's shady where their money goes to.
Yep.
But also they're not helping people who are out there with autism right now. They really
Do you think that autism is a disorder? Or, I mean,
yes.
I know it's classified as one, but do you think of it as one?
I do, yeah.
I mean, I have heard people describe it as, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just different than you. So there's
a comedian, I wish I could remember her name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go to Netflix to get her name.
I mean,
she did a special called Nanette. And
do you feel like there's something wrong with you?
Well, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because she came up with the perfect description for this.
Right.
Which is, we're on a different wavelength. It's like you're on cocaine and nobody else is.
Yeah.
Or it's like everybody's on cocaine and you're not. You're the only person. I can't find her name. But she did an amazing comedy special called Nanette. It's on Netflix. But she is fantastic. She's, I believe, Australian.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the anxiety, the PTSD, yes, those are definitely disorders, but you feel like the autism is a detriment to you?
I do. There have been a lot of times in my life where, and one of the things that isn't talked about a lot, I have what's called high functioning autism.
Yeah.
And that leads to high functioning depression. There are studies that show a strong link between the two.
Yeah, because, and it's this, I don't want to compare the two because there are differences, but for me with borderline personality disorder, yeah, I'm self-aware that I don't understand.
Yeah.
When with social situations, it's most when I talk to my wife and when we have arguments, I will say, I don't understand you. And I'm not trying to say that because I'm trying to be a dick going, you're not making sense. I'm trying to say, I
can't figure out where you're coming from.
I don't know what this means. Why would you say it that way? What does that inflection mean? And for me, with my disorder, that means then later I take that and I internalize it and to the point where sometimes I may even want to throw up.
Yeah.
You know,
and autism, there's a lot of that. The thinking about, everyone has that thing where you think about something stupid that you did. Yeah. But I invent something stupid. Like, I'll think about a social situation and I will think about every possible way someone could have mistaken what I said.
Yes.
And like just the other day, I told someone, I'm tired.
Yep.
Now, this person had a sister who was intellectually disabled. And so he's very sensitive to the R slur.
Right.
So I actually made a conscious effort to not use that word in my vocabulary anymore.
Right.
And I thought his phone disconnected. Yeah. But I thought he hung up on me because he thought I said that word, and I almost had a panic attack over it.
Sure.
And the truth is, his phone just died.
I just, like, you know, I come up with a plausible scenario of what someone may be thinking about our interaction, but very quickly it stops becoming a plausible scenario, and I believe it's actually true. Like, my beliefs change. It's not just like I'm worried that this may be the case. For some reason, my brain will go, you came up with this, boom, it's real. It's like I create universes, but in my head. Yeah. I know I'm like kind of spinning on words, but it's hard to distinguish, did I make that up? Or is that really how that person how that person reacted?
And it's hard because with disorders like ours, reading facial expressions is very difficult for me.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
sorry.
Punks for Autism.
This is a comic book podcast.
Punks for Autism, right?
These are shirts that genuinely I'm going to wear. The other one I got, it was the panther with the mohawk coming through the puzzle piece.
White shirt with the Sailor Jerry kind of. I'm going to show my camera here. I've got a panther tattoo.
Very similar style to that.
Yep.
But with a mohawk. Awesome mohawk.
Right. And then so back to Autism Speaks. What are the groups that they do support that you're on board with?
Well, I'd have to go through because I don't want to quote one wrong.
So then we're going to throw up Punks for Autism's link on our show notes.
Yep. punksforautism.com.
Yep. Get out there. Check it out. You know, we're getting nothing from this except it means so much to us to help spread awareness of what people actually go through. Yeah. Not just, there's something wrong with them, send them to the special ed room.
Right. And I think in this case,
or adults, like we were talking about with I just lost his first name, Steve. There we go. Last week, there's adult need of care, right? Okay, I said that weird, but there are adult high functioning autistics that still need people to come in and check. Did you pay your bills? Did you,
and I have a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah.
For me, and it's one of those things I can't explain why. Yeah. People say, well, you just pay your taxes, pay your bills. It's super easy. I'm like, except for me, it's not. Okay. What's difficult about it? Well, it's and that's about as far as I can get. And there's this big mental block and people do not understand it.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those cases where awareness spreads and it breeds acceptance.
Yeah.
And that's what I want more of, because I am a freak and my people are the freaks, the losers, you know. To quote Streetlight Manifesto, the losers, the liars, the bastards, the thieves, the cynicists, the pessimists, and those that don't believe in nothing.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, that's not true. You know, I mean, I see us differently. I see us as like, we are individuals. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there is a lot. I do have some pride in the fact that I'm different.
Right. I
use the word freak as a dysphemism.
Sure.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, a dysphemism is the opposite of a euphemism. A euphemism is making something bad sound nicer.
Yeah.
A dysphemism is making something sound worse than it is.
Yeah.
So, like for my hand, I lost a finger. I refer to it as I shot my hand off.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this is a comic book show, so let's actually...
Back to my point. We're not getting... and then we'll go. Yeah. We're not getting a dime for Punks for Autism. We're not getting money for them. They're not getting money for us. We are just trying to help spread awareness.
Absolutely.
All right. So, comic book time.
Yes.
We read this week, Resident Alien. It is an ongoing... entity, I guess you would call it, anthology.
It's from Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, which I love Dark Horse lately. Back in the 80s and 90s, I think they had kind of a bad flavor. But in the 2000s forward, I've really been loving what they've been putting out.
Mm-hmm.
So
now this is what we hadn't realized is this is like the fourth anthology or the fourth volume, whatever you want to call it. This one's called Resident Alien, Your Ride's Here. We read number 1 of 6, and now a sci-fi original series. We didn't realize.
That's what I was just gonna say. I had this series hadn't even been on my radar until Wednesday. We walked into the comic book store, and JP said, "Guys, this isn't that amazing or anything like that. It's just I thought it looked good, and it's gonna be a sci-fi show. It's out now, right?"
Yep, and it stars Alan Tudyk, who I absolutely love.
Did you like it?
The comic book?
No, the show.
The show. I have not watched the show.
Oh, because when you asked me a minute ago, you want to watch it, and I thought you had already seen it.
No, that's why I was saying let's compare it because we both read the comic. But
sure. So going into it, we're coming into it. This might be like the beginning of the 4th volume. JP warned us about that, and he said, "Hey, so it's like Rex Morgan, MD." But comic book form and not newspaper strip form.
Right. And if you don't know Rex Morgan, MD, it's basically it's sort of a soap opera in a comic book strip.
Right.
So it's in your newspaper. It's, one of those, but you have, if you just read one panel by itself, one cartoon by itself, it really doesn't make sense. It's a soap opera. You need to keep up with it. There's a whole lot going on there.
Right. So I just don't, I didn't understand what he meant when he said it's like Rex Morgan. I thought like, okay, it's going to be hospital setting. Rex Morgan is a, kind of a hospital type show.
Right.
Or type soap opera. Yeah. General
hospital in comic.
Except the main doctor is an alien.
Right.
And so it plays off that resident doctor, resident alien. In the title. Very funny. But the alien, apparently us, the reader, know he's an alien, but they don't. So
is that what happened?
We see him as the alien, but they see him in human form.
Okay. I was wondering because throughout the whole thing, at no point is it really addressed until the end, sort of.
And then that comes in, like we would have known that earlier in the anthology, right? In another volume. But yeah. So we see him, but his coworkers, he looks like a guy.
Yeah. And for me, it's not so much that I felt lost.
Yeah.
It's that I felt like there was a lot that I needed to know for this to matter to me.
Right. And I'm kind of going to call out JP. He's not on the show today.
Which is why it's perfect.
This is why it's
you're
fun.
Ugly.
This is
your
so
wife
fun.
is so much better than you deserve. Your daughter deserves a better... No, that's mean. That's too mean. I'm sorry. I apologize. I take it back.
Anyway,
that was too mean. I'm sorry, JP. I love you.
He simplified it too much. This is like Rex Morgan, MD, and you know what?
He's right.
Dead on. And
he was absolutely right.
And you want to know what? I fucking hated Rex Morgan. So I don't know why I expected this was gonna be good.
It's definitely not for me. That's the thing. I know people who will absolutely love it. We know someone who loves it. JP loves it.
And it's not for me either. And mainly because I don't like huge piles of shit. Oh man, it's so funny. I said I was gonna
you were
say, but I promised I wasn't gonna shit on it, but it's not good.
It is very much not, and this doesn't speak at all to the show. Because I don't know anything.
We haven't seen the show yet.
Yeah. And I love Alan Tudyk. So, and it's possible that in the earlier stuff, this would be more exciting. But
okay, let's do an old school. JP and I used to do this. I don't know if you and I ever did this, TR. Let's walk through the issue. How does it open up?
The issue opens up with a FedEx guy getting shot by a BB gun.
What was cool? That caught my attention.
Yep.
Because it was like this pellet gun went right through the guy's thigh, and he went down, and the lady starts screaming for help that he was handing the package to.
Yep.
And boom.
Then immediately cut to
and then
the
it cut
police
to the investigating. Yep. Great. I'm on board. The police are like kind of joking around that it's just kids. One of the guys going, it's just kids. It's a BB gun. and the other cops like tell that to the guy with a hole ripped in his leg.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it turns out that they're making this because the newspaper is making a big deal out of it.
Yep.
They're making this a priority.
Yes.
But there's another, what was it? 2 days ago, some guy in a van tried to snatch a 4-year-old girl up by the mall.
Yep.
The mother scared him away, but he's still out there somewhere, and I won't sleep till I find him. So the police are making a priority of this BB prank, which understandable. Like, yeah, you got to find that, but also there's someone trying to get kids.
Yeah. Okay. So I loved it. Now cut to, that's where that kind of ended.
Yeah. That was the end of that part of the story.
And yeah. And so that was a bummer. When we go back to it was like Rex Morgan. It definitely was here because where there's obviously something going on previous with this. Cool. I know we missed out on it, and it's going to go somewhere. I wish we would have seen more of this, but it now jumps to hospital setting, correct?
Yep. The hospital. And that's where
he's got a name,
Harry.
Doctor or something.
His name's Harry.
Okay.
Harry shows up. Apparently he was in New York. I'm guessing that was the last volume.
The vibe. Yeah. He's came back from New York, and
it's so casual. The fact that he's an alien.
Yeah, and they were like, "How was New York? You know, how was New York City?" He goes, "Oh, it was the most cityest city I've seen." And you get the feeling like, I don't think they know he's an alien. And JP JP
no,
said,
they do because on the I knew it, on the invitation that he was given right there to a wedding, the little girl drew him as an alien. So
you're right.
So they actually know he's an alien, but at no point does that really play a part in the story.
JP made it sound like they don't know that.
Oh, well, JP was wrong.
Well, anyway.
Let's laugh at JP.
Anyway, so he's getting a wedding invite. So there's a couple that he knows. He just got back from New York, and he's like, "Oh, that's great. You guys set the date. Here's your invite." Okay, so he's got the invite to a wedding, and he doesn't really want to go.
Yeah. And I mean, basically, we're finding out that there's another doctor that was sort of filling in for him when he was in New York.
Right.
And that this doctor, I guess, was kind of an asshole at first, and they were thinking it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
But now he's going to stay here.
So what happened between him and the nurses? Again, this is something like, he didn't
get
along with the
soap opera
nurse
stuff. We're coming into the middle of a soap opera with no knowledge.
I know. Okay. So.
And then there's a girl that she leaves to get a haircut. And then.
Okay. I got a question at the end then about this girl with the haircut.
Yeah.
So there is this haircut scene that went nowhere. It was just her in the haircut chair.
Yep. It was just her talking about stuff that was happening.
Yep. Okay. Next, after that, I mean, that didn't advance any story for me.
No. And then it goes to the alien talking to, I think, the chief of police. I think.
Yeah, that is the policeman that said we have to find the BB gun guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Same guy.
So they talk for a while, and then some woman who I don't know who she is shows up, and like I don't get a feel of who these characters are either. It feels incredibly two-dimensional to me.
Yeah.
I'm just shitting on this book, and I feel guilty because someone put a lot of work into this. The art, I like the art.
I did not.
That was a lie. The art, I don't hate it. I don't hate the art at all.
Okay. I trust JP's
JP knows comics better than we do. Let's say that straight out.
Yeah. And so
JP also has,
and he liked this.
Yeah, he liked it.
So
which is why it kind of sucks. I was looking forward to him being here. But apparently his daughter decided to be a little cunt.
Whoa. Anyway,
I cut cameras too when I did that.
Anyway, so I agree. Like, how do I put this? Like, I understand that we are coming into it cold and we are missing the prequels here. I get that. It's just, I don't think I like reading a comic book that's set up to be like very much like we're reading 3 different comic strips. Yeah. Because they're each little short vignettes that jump from this set of characters, this one, and we don't have any backstory on them. And so I'm really curious why JP was like hooked in, because he didn't have any of the backstory either.
He told me that he did look up a bunch of the backstory then after he read this, but so I'm wondering what made him want to do that. Like, there's something that's not clicking with me, and it's quite possible maybe it's just because I'm autistic or something.
I don't know. Okay, so then can we jump to the last scene of this book?
Yeah.
Then after the cop and the alien are chatting with each other about what to do here, we jump to a Native American scene of a dad who probably is a chief. He's wearing an owl mask. This is really cool in the background as far as the art. Did you ever notice the bear back here?
I did. I noticed that.
Do you want to point it out in the camera so they can see it?
Boop.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so who's that girl? Who's that guy? What the fuck are they talking about?
That was getting her hair cut.
That's what I thought. Is that the haircut girl?
Yep. And the guy is apparently her father, who has some sort of mystical power, and she complains that they never see each other just in the daytime regular. They always in the
dream? Is this a dream that they are talking to each other?
I think she said it was the dream world. I can check.
Okay, so part of their culture, they believe they can talk to each other in their sleep. I'm guessing. Does that sound right?
I don't know. See, that's the thing, is we don't know what culture it is. We don't know.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, it's another one of your dream journey things.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you going to read on so that you can figure out where this is going or what's happening?
No.
You're not peaked at all to try and figure it out. That's JP. No. He's like, okay, I read it and now I want all this backstory so I know what's going on. Yeah. But you read it and you're going, I don't care about the backstory. It's not engaging enough.
It did not capture me. I did not get a feel of these characters, and the only thing that I want more of is the plot itself, and I want more character-driven stuff than what they're giving me.
Yeah, for sure. I like small town mystery kind of thing. I thought it was going to be kind of a Twin Peaks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right off the, I mean, like, I don't know. And maybe it is, like, if I would give it a chance and start over, but I'm not going to go and read the beginning volumes. For me, it comes down to like budget lately. Sure. And so, which goes into our next comic that we're going to talk about why you're up on it and I'm not. Anyway, TR, what do you think? Should we take a break and talk to one of our affiliates?
Yeah, absolutely. We're super excited about this, a new affiliate for the show. So let's take a break.
We'll be back. For that.
Okay, well, I'm recording now too.
We're back from our break.
Yeah, this is our second time back. I fucked up. I was doing a review of an issue that has not come out yet.
Yeah.
So we were lucky enough to get an advance issue of Sea of Sorrows #3. Now, this is by Rich, and I found out how to say this. It's Rich Dueck.
Rich Dueck. And what I love is the art was done by Alex Cormack.
Yep, Alex Cormack, friend of the show.
Alex is the artist from Sync, and those Sync cover photo, or I call them cover photos, they were so amazing. They were not photorealistic, but Sync is a horror story, and those covers were so stark. White backgrounds, just this iconic logo of a character or a scene.
That very first one with Mr. Dig.
Right, got just the shovel over his shoulder.
Background with Mr. Dig.
He's got the Fox mask on. Yep. He's got. I mean, it looked like. You remember when Jamie Foxx was on Masked Singer? No,
I don't watch that show.
He was wearing a fox mask, right? Anyway, my good buddy's got a fantastic Mr. Fox mask.
Nice.
And he wears it at Halloween with a nice vest. He looks just like the character from the book and the movie. But this is what Mr. Dig looked like on the cover of Sync, and he's got this shovel over his shoulder. It's a little bloody. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Sync, and we've talked about this before, even if John Lees and Alex Cormack were not friends of the show, I think Sync is the greatest indie horror series in a decade. And honestly, for me, it's one of my favorite just pure comic book series. I absolutely loved every issue, every page. There were issues where there's basically no dialogue at all, but there's action and there's character development, and the art is so perfectly matched to the story.
Yeah, agreed. So today we're talking about Sea of Sorrows, though.
Sorry.
Rich, you spoke with Alex.
Yes, I
about
did
issue
a little while
1.
ago.
Yep.
A little while ago, I did an interview with Alex, and he actually let me in on some of the secrets on. The beautiful thing about this is a lot of it is deep sea diving.
Yep.
So the basic idea, not giving anything away here, is there's a ship that is going out to find a shipwreck that has just a ridiculous amount of gold.
Yes.
And this was a shipwreck, I think, from World War One. They're not super specific on that yet when the shipwreck
imagery
is from.
If I remember from issue 1, the imagery led us to believe it was World War One.
Right. Well, and World War One had happened, and one of the main characters from issue 1 is a veteran of World War One.
Right. Right. So this is taking place in between the two world wars.
Right. Yep. This is in between the two world wars. And there is a big push here for these people to get this gold off this ship. There's, it's this huge operation.
Yep.
And we talked about this when we talked about the last story, Resident Alien. I can't believe I forgot the name of it.
It was like 10 minutes ago.
I know. When we were talking about Resident Alien, how it had those 3 stories. This has 3 stories as well.
Yeah.
It has the sort of flashback to World War One,
which I like. I like the historical fiction in books. That's if it's done well.
And I think this is done really well, despite the fact that it is very much a fantasy horror book.
Yeah.
It's done so well with the history involved in it, adding like, okay, well, let's say that this crazy thing did happen.
Yep.
How would that, affect the people of the time?
So, question for you. I only read issue 1.
Right.
And I'm a big fan of Rich. Spoke to him on this show before about Wailing Blade. Did you read Wailing Blade?
I have not. No.
Okay. I didn't. So my question is moot, I guess. I didn't read Wailing Blade past issue 1, and I didn't want to go past issue 1 with this either.
Okay.
What are you digging about the story?
This story. So I was saying it has those 3 stories, and they mix in together really well.
Yeah. Your dog is here. For those that can't see me, Jasmine, can we see her on my camera at all?
Yes.
Oh, so Jasmine is here trying to give me a ball. So if I sound like I'm distracted, it's the dog.
Yeah, she's being very cute.
All right. So, what draws you to the story?
Yeah. So the 3 stories that they're telling, there's the one at the ship at sea level.
Right.
There's the flashback story to around World War One.
Yep.
And then this issue, it starts off right at the beginning of World War One is the flashback.
Yep.
And then there's the story of the deep sea diver.
Yeah.
The person who's down trying to get the gold so they can bring it back up to the ship.
Right.
These 3 stories are melded together perfectly, even though the flashbacks are still such a mystery to us in this series.
Right.
Now, obviously, it's Alex Cormick, so I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the art.
I was just going to say that I'm an art guy, and if the art's bad, it's hard for me to get through it. But at the same time, I need some story. And for me, issue 1, I mean, do you recommend, should I go to issue 2?
I think
issue
you should,
1
yeah.
just didn't hook me enough to like, I mean, I got, we talked about it a few minutes ago, but budget is a big thing for a lot of people.
Right.
And when there's so many choices for people right now in terms of comic books, the comic book market is struggling the way it is. Like, why? So forgive me, but it felt mediocre, this story originally. And so then it's like, what? It makes me wonder, like, what?
JP actually said something somewhat similar. He said, I feel like this is a new telling of a story that I've heard before. This story is actually going in a different direction than I personally thought it was.
Was it? Okay. So it's worth it to go on past issue 1.
I think so very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that was my thing. It's like, I always like right now in this market, you gotta hit them fucking hard.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing is you're buying 3 comic books and that's $12.
Right.
And
for
right
me
now
personally,
there are people,
I've got a
$12 is a lot of money.
I used to be able
especially every week.
I used to be getting away with blowing a lot of money on comic books,
but you got a family and stuff,
right? So now my budget, right, is $20 a week. That's 5 issues, right?
Plus all that methamphetamine.
The more you know. So my box at Rainbow, I'm weeks behind in it. You know what I mean? And so what I do every week is I pick the ones that I want to read ongoing for the show, and I buy those, and I put the ones that I'm reading more like for fun, and I'll get. Are we still on your camera?
Nope.
Okay,
we're fine.
Okay. So then I put the ones that I'm reading for fun and not really reading. I don't need to be like caught up like right away in them. Put those in my box. Yeah, but my box has probably got $100 worth of books in it. So.
Yeah, it is.
So my point is that I need to be need to be wowed if I'm going to continue past issue 1 usually.
Yeah. And that's part of, we're really lucky on this show because we can get advanced copies of stuff. If we reach out to people, we are able often to do that.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fringe benefits of being buddies with comic creators.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't exploit that. You know, I don't seek them out going, "Hey, you got anything new I can have?"
Yeah.
But if somebody sends us stuff, I'm more than happy to check it out, and grateful too. I mean, grateful to Rich. I mean, he's been a longtime friend of this show, and his work is out there. I mean, obviously I didn't, like I said, I didn't really dig it, but that's me. It wasn't bad. So though I don't want to be misconstrued. Rich isn't a bad writer. It's good in what it is, but what it is something I'm not digging.
Okay. And I understand that. This is, I don't think that this is a very niche story.
Sure.
But the farther in you get into it, like, you know how there's some TV shows where people say you have to get past episode 3?
Yeah.
Issue 3. Well, first off, issue 2, the first page is fucking crazy.
Is it?
It is. The first page is fucking crazy. The imagery. And honestly, for me, the art in this book, even if I wasn't loving the story as much as I am, the art in this book makes it worth it. Alex Cormack does great.
Have you ever, let me ask you this. Do you buy comic, this is off track, but that's kind of how I roll, baby. Do you ever buy comic books strictly for a cover or strictly for the art?
Yep, I did that with a book this week.
So you would buy it regardless, you don't care about the story. It's just a specific cover that someone did. You would buy the book.
Well, no, for this, it was a number 1. I only do that with number 1s.
Okay.
Or with books that I just started in that I'm enjoying, and then a big issue comes out.
Yeah. What book was it?
It was the 8th Immortal.
Yeah. You asked me about that and I didn't even see it on the shelf.
Yeah. It sold out quick.
Cause I got to the store about 4:30. And so, when you texted me later and said, "Did you grab Resident?" I said, "Did you grab Resident Evil?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then you said, "What about 8th Immortal?" I said, "I didn't even see it."
Yeah, because JP was I thought he was going to set aside some of those for us, but they ended up selling out really quick.
Yeah,
they didn't have a huge number of them.
No, and you know, if he wouldn't have set aside mine, not knowing if I really wanted it, and there was a customer standing there,
right?
Do you have one? You know, I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was a good issue.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, you haven't?
But I bought it purely because I was flipping through the art.
Yep.
And I really like it. What's great is you can, because they offer the hand sanitizer at Rainbow.
Yep.
You can actually like pick up a book and flip through it a little bit, put it back.
Yeah.
And it's safer.
Yeah. I guess that wasn't really my question. My question is more about like, I'm not going to read like Shadow Play over there on your wall. Right. I love, Clara Meath, all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm not going to spend my money on a book I don't enjoy.
Sure.
But do you buy stuff based purely on, oh, I like Clara, I'm going to buy her book regardless though I don't enjoy the story.
No. And actually, oh boy, a name popped into my head right away, but I think it'd be rude to say this person's name. There's a writer that I absolutely love as a person.
Yeah.
And I love a lot of his work.
Yeah.
But there was one series in particular that made me go very much.
Yeah. Jeff Lemire.
No.
You'd be like,
this
you're like
JP. This is someone I actually have met.
Sure.
But
for me, and then that's the thing, like, I don't mean any disrespect because I really love Clara's art and everything like that, but Shadow Play and Stabbity Bunny and that world just became not my cup of tea. Okay. So I'm asking, like, do you buy acquaintance or friends or even people you admire stuff?
No.
Just because it's them?
No. I will sometimes buy something based on, I love this writer and I love their work, or I love this artist and I love their work. So I will sometimes, but I'll flip through it first to make sure that it's of the quality that I want.
Yeah.
I don't just because I know someone. The one exception is there's a local guy that does a series, Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Yep.
And I got a copy of that purely because it was called Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Yeah.
I got a signed copy of issue number 1.
Yeah.
Got into it. Turns out it's a fun series.
Yeah. I've heard, the funny thing is I heard reviews of it on other comic book shows when it was first coming out.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. For me, there is a local artist around here that does reimaginings of known characters, but as kids. Do you know who I'm referring to?
No.
The artist? Okay. I don't enjoy it. It's really good stuff. So I'll just say his name because it is good stuff. It's Lamont Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got a shtick where I shouldn't call it a shtick, but his art is known characters as kids, right? In their uniforms and their costumes and whatever. It's really great stuff. I like Lamont. He's a great guy. He's got a gallery. I love what he's doing, all of it. But I don't really like the stuff.
It's not for you.
It's not my cup of tea. And so I don't like, should I feel the need to buy it to support a guy I respect him. But yet should I feel the need to I better buy it so I can support local art?
Here's one of the best pieces of advice I've been given recently was just because something is good doesn't mean you have to like it.
Okay.
Now I don't want to be dishonest on this show. I don't want to review a book and say it was good when it wasn't. Now, Sea of Sorrows, I bought issue 2. Yep. I bought issue 1.
Yep.
I enjoyed issue 3. If possible, I'm gonna keep getting advanced issues, that sort of thing. Keep reviewing this series. But as far as budget goes, I don't know if I would personally still be pulling it. I know for sure I would, because right now there's so little that I am pulling.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, really? I'm kind of the opposite. I am so marveled out, man.
Yeah.
DC is pretty much.
Yeah. The Future State stuff, I tried it. I tried it so much.
What was it like?
It's gimmicky, unfortunately.
I know. It felt like to me that it was gonna be like.
And I end up not giving a fuck because I know come March it's all gonna be gone and they're gonna be down to 12 issues. That's all they're gonna publish is 12 issues.
Yeah. And then they're rebooting, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we know this is just the time they're giving you something to read while they're getting their poop in a group.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried, but it ended up being like Dark Knight's Metal for me, where I just don't care anymore.
And then, did you pick up the Joker Harley book?
I did, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. Do you like the way that story's going?
No.
Right. I picked it. That's what I'm asking. Okay. I picked up that book because I have the first 5 already.
Yeah.
But you know what? I picked up that one. Now I'm 3 behind, not just 2 of reading them.
Yeah.
Because I care that little.
Yeah.
But why do I feel the necessity to keep buying them?
I know. And they're putting out, I have Batman fatigue now. Remember when I was talking about having Joker fatigue?
Yeah.
Now I have Batman fatigue.
I'm done. I mean, I love Batman, the character, and all this kind of stuff like that, but I never thought I'd say it, but I've been off Batman, and it's been a relief not having to feel like I have to slog through an issue.
Yeah.
And pretend like I care about the story.
They're trying to do too much, and they're not accomplishing any of it.
No.
They're doing jack of all trades, master of none, and it's just not working out on the page.
No, and it hasn't been for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I really hated this whole huge Bat family, business of Batman, Robin, Red Hood.
For so long, Superman was the big DC guy.
Right.
For so long, it was Superman, and now it's Batman.
Right.
And they're leaning into it too far.
No, why does Batman have to be a team book? I hate the fact that it's always
is Batman not a detective.
Exactly, and it's just I have not been a fan lately at all.
Excuse me. But back to Sea of Sorrows.
Yeah. So your list is small.
Yeah, my list is small. This week I got 5 books, including Resident Alien, which was not from this week.
It's about what I get every week. 5.
Yeah. For me, that's pretty slim pickings.
Mm-hmm.
I usually spend more money because I live alone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have a family to support, and you're a teacher, so I I got some pocket change. I'm pretty sure I could double your salary.
Could you help out? I do teach in Minnesota though, so we have higher salary than South Dakota teachers.
Yeah, South Dakota teachers are getting.
I am licensed Minnesota. I have a license in South Dakota. If I had to take a job here or Iowa, I've got all 3. But it's really sad how people perceive teachers to just fix all the problems with their kids.
Yeah.
Behavior and education and all this stuff. And then right now during COVID, they really want kids to be in school. But in the neck of the woods that I live in, very Republican, right wing, they don't want their kids to have to wear masks. You know, they want it the best of both.
They want to,
and then they're upset at the teachers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like over everything, and it's so much pressure. And already, you know, everyone says, "Oh, teachers are underpaid," and maybe people are sick of hearing that. But you could not imagine how true it is. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the field.
Yeah.
I went into the field knowing that it was low paying. I'm just saying the truth is that it's true. It's not just people griping that they want higher income. You know?
Yeah. And for me, like, this is completely tangential, but talking about like defund the police,
right?
People picture that being completely defund them. That's not what I'm talking about. No. When people say defund the police, they mean like we've been defunding schools for decades.
Right. I mean,
like, take the money that we've been putting into giving them tanks, and pay our teachers better. So teachers don't have to buy, because right now you have a Facebook post asking for supplies. Because you would have to pay for it otherwise.
Yeah, I got for the wire sculptures that we're doing. You know, I put out a post that, hey, if you got any wire clothes hangers, I'll take them. And luckily, I've got lots of people that would give me you know, that's a double-edged sword. Yes, like you said, I don't have the budget to go out and buy a whole bunch of sculpture wire. But I do like the idea of repurposing. So
yeah, and art does thrive on its limitations. Is some truth.
That's what I like. That honestly, that was kind of part of the project. You have to take this hanger to the kids. They have to take this block of wood, and then and then there's some parameters, and they got to create.
But the idea of, I mean, realistically, you should be able to buy a pack of hangers for a class.
Yeah,
like hangers should be. Wire hangers especially,
or just even sculpture wire.
Yeah,
the reason I wanted that is because of the gauge of wire.
Right.
Okay, so I should be able to put it in my budget that I'm going to buy so many feet of this gauge of sculpture wire, but that's unrealistic. That's hundreds of dollars that I need.
The school is not going to put into art.
Yeah, well, I can spend it on whatever I want to, but
you have other stuff you have to get.
Yeah, there's a limit to, there's a cap on what I can spend every year on supplies. And so, yes, I go out there and ask for help, and I usually get it, because the nice thing about teaching art, and I went into this knowing that I was going to get paid little. It's just the nature of the beast, and knowing full well that if the school district that I work in has cutbacks, they don't. But I'm just saying, if they needed to, I know full well that art is one of the first to go. It's just not one of those key,
which is bullshit,
core classes, you know,
because that's where the freaks get to go. That's where the freaks get to shine.
Yeah,
like I'm a music freak.
Yeah,
and you were too.
Oh yeah, I still am. It's just, you know, and I love hanging out with my next door neighbors at school, the band and choir teachers. You know,
sure,
because you know. They're into music like I am, because I mean, that's what they teach.
Teachers conduct like this. Pisses me off.
I don't know if she does it or not. I don't watch them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Whereas I put 1, 2,
I don't
3,
watch
4.
You and I are both really into music. We both
You're a tromboner.
I am a boner.
How did we get off of comics this badly?
Oh, we were talking about teachers for some reason.
Yeah.
Money, I don't know. Anyway, hey, Sea of Sorrows.
Yeah, so Sea of Sorrows, I was talking about, like, this would definitely be in my pull list.
Okay.
Even if I wasn't getting the issues in advance, like
I
am.
Right.
Because especially right now for me, this is a light time, but also with the advancement that this issue gives to this story.
Yeah.
There's right at the end, I can't give it away, and they're so good at doing this in this series, is giving you something right at the end that makes you go, come on, give me the next issue.
Yeah.
Like, that is my biggest complaint, honestly, with this series, is it's so long between issues. I thought this story was going to be a little bit more down the middle than it ended up what it's looking like it's going to be.
Down the middle as what? As far as you think this story?
I thought it was going to be kind of your average haunted ship story.
Okay. Not so much.
It's gathering too much.
Turns out it's not haunted at all.
Well, I don't want to get into stuff because there are things that you do find out in this issue.
This is like Scooby-Doo, but like for adults.
It's it's done so well, and there's added mystery in this issue. There's something that they added that is fucked up.
Right.
And boy, I have a tickle in my throat. I apologize. I have to cough. You talk.
Okay. So TR is coughing. I did not read Sea of Sorrows number 3 because I didn't read number 2. Like I said, number 1 didn't really catch my attention, but I love Alex Cormack.
Yeah, as far as the art goes, it matches the tone.
Yeah.
Because the tone of this is creepy as fuck.
If I were gay and Alex Cormack's art was a person, I would take it up the ass for it.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's how much I like it.
I like his art. The big thing is in the undersea stuff, the lighting that he does is done so well. And obviously it's not all undersea, and
under the sea.
You can see right here. Look at that dude's expression.
Okay, so right off the bat, here's the thing I don't like about that particular panel.
Oh shit.
He looks like he's made of stone. Like, it doesn't read to me the anguish on his face.
No, that's the thing, is that's part of that character, because he's fucking crazy.
That reads to me like a Japanese manga face, right? Oh, you know what I'm saying, with the tight face and the.
I guess I could see that.
That was unnecessarily racist, but that's the image I'm trying to. They got squinty face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I got from that frame. Anyway, go on. That guy is insane. I like the red. Right, when you talk about Alex Cormack's art, he's really good about using a visceral color like red to show that emotion. You know, it's not overly detailed, and I don't mean that to try to justify him not drawing a background, but you know, sometimes using just a simple color will just, you know what I mean, make the scene.
How much that panel popped. It's a panel I can't show, but
yeah, and
that pops so much.
What we're describing is a red, gory scene that involves blood, and that mixture of red and black, and that pop of white, you know, really set off the colors, you know.
Yeah, and what's great is this, you really got to feel for the characters.
Right.
And you're introduced to new aspects of stuff, and so this is keeping me guessing more.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of mystery to it. It's definitely a horror series. But I honestly think JP missed the boat on this one.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I should check it out when it comes out in trade, because like you said, when it goes 2 months go by and there's nothing, I forget about it. Yeah. And if I forget about it, what happened, you know, and I just ask you, okay, recap the series. It's more for me too, because if more than a month goes by, I'm not going to remember because I read too much stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And I have a bad memory because of ADHD and potheadness.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I might have shifted your camera.
Me too.
But you look better now.
Hi. Anyway, so out of 10, what do you give it?
Tough call. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Really?
Yep. It advanced the story a lot. The art is really well done, and again, the big thing for me, I've said this too many times now, but having the art match the story matters a lot to me.
Yeah. And
the art is so well done.
Can we jump back to other works by John Lees? Him and Alex Cormack need to be teamed up on all of John's stuff.
Alex Cormack brings out so much of John Lee's work in sync.
Okay. This is gonna sound really bad because we were like, when we were talking last time with who was the last guy we talked to, comic creator?
Oh shit. Frank Martin.
Yes. Okay.
Whoo! I had a brain fart and I was like, no, I know his name. Come on.
Frank Martin.
Polar Paradox.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
He is friends with the artist from Mountainhead.
Right.
And so I brought up John Lee's work wasn't as strong in Mountainhead because of the art. And the art is not bad. It's just not it wasn't the right thing for that story or John's work.
Okay.
And I firmly believe Alex Cormack brings out John's voice in a visual form.
Very well matched. Yeah.
I know, and I'm not trying to make it a slam against the guy that did do Mountainhead. It's just, if you're listening, John Lees, Alex is your guy.
Well,
by
Alex
this,
has
and
other
I am the
projects.
self-proclaimed king of comics, so I am self-proclaiming that Alex should be your guy. Okay, go on, TR.
But yeah, it's 8.5.
Yeah,
Was what I'd give it. It's definitely, if you're way better than Resident Alien.
yeah. So Resident Alien, check it out if you have extra cash or you already like the series.
Yeah,
If
Resident
you are,
Alien, really, I would say don't pick up this number one.
yeah, here's the thing.
Right off the bat.
Right.
Go for an omnibus.
I don't.
JP actually said he's going to be buying the omnibus of it.
He's ordering some. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but don't pick this issue up if you're looking for a new series to get into.
Right.
You are going to be
not a fresh start.
It's not a number one that you should run out and get. It may go up in value because of the sci-fi series. I don't know. It's not really a spec book right now.
No.
So
there were plenty left over.
It's just you will be lost, and it's not really. I guess there's no time like the present to jumping on a series, but this might not be the book for doing that.
There are some great series going on right now that we've been talking about that.
Yeah.
There's some that I loved that you guys didn't, but that's okay. You guys are wrong.
Okay, so Resident Alien, though, we should do it a little justice. It is by Peter Hogan, art by Steve Parkhouse. Okay, out on Dark Horse. Dark Horse. The back looks more interesting, National Anthem.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I don't know what that is, but it looks cool.
Looks like it's coming out soon type of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so anything else, TR?
No, I think that's it.
Jesus Christ, I hit your camera again. You hit mine last time.
Yeah, but you've hit mine more than once.
Yeah. Anyway, get out to Facebook. Check us out. You can just search Smash, the letter N, Grab Comics. I'm putting cool stuff out there all the time. I think it's cool, so therefore it is. You can get out to our Twitter at Grab Comics, and there are photos of you grabbing your balls. That is included in this book. Images you should not masturbate to. This is not a plug for the book itself. It is just a good book, right, to get into.
Yeah, it's a good read.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, we have an Instagram. We have one of those. Get out there, check it out. What else we got? YouTube. Yeah. If you're listening to us on the old podcasters and want to see our ugly faces, get out to the YouTubes. TR, tell us about it. What's going on the old tubes?
Well, for the past few weeks, they have been so light on comics. I haven't done anything. So right now I'm mainly posting the episodes.
Yeah. So that was Jasmine. And then what's coming up for us? Nothing really.
Yeah, we've got our regular interviews, and we've got comic reviews, and then our X-Men episodes.
Does anything good come out this week? I didn't even look.
I
haven't. Do you watch a previews video?
No.
None? You just go to the store? Like,
yep.
You just go in, no fucking idea what you're looking for, and you'll just grab?
The first thing I do is I ask JP what's good this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll tell me what he's liking, and I'll usually grab whatever he says.
Right.
I talk to John the Greater.
Yep.
These are all people at Rainbow.
Right.
I ask him what's out, and then I eyeball it. I walk through and I do it like line by line, just the top row.
Right.
And then I walk back and I literally do it that way so I'm getting more exercise, but I'm still fat for some reason.
It's 4 feet wide, so
You're 4 feet wide.
So there's no exercise being had.
You're 4 feet
when
wide.
You're going left to right. You got to go top to bottom so you get those squats in, because there's a lot of shelves. Anyway, here's what I do every week. We interviewed him on the show. We had him on the show. Was Travis from Comics with Bueller.
Yes.
Not that I am. It's not a promotion. I just like his show.
Yeah.
I watch his show pretty religiously.
He gives out some great stuff.
His preview show, like, it is chock full. He goes to the lengths to find variant covers, all the covers to show you what's out there. That's a great show to check out. What I'll do is I'll just jot them down, those comics that came out.
Yeah.
Then I'll go buy what I want to buy at the store, because I've already heard that it's coming out. So if it's a new number one, I can take note of something number one from Dark Horse, from Image, from whatever.
No.
If it's an Image, or if it's a something I collect anyway, and I'll jot it down. Like, oh, Spider-Man 55 is coming out, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the store, and usually when I go, JP has put things in my box, kind of like a little tooth fairy putting, things under my pillow. And then I've got to sift through everything in my box, whether it's good or bad. And then I head to the wall, and 9 times out of 10, there's nothing that's not already in my box that I pick off the wall. Last time I pulled nothing from the wall.
Really?
And I left with $25 worth of comics and put 40 back in my box.
Wow.
So like I have a good pull list going, so I already know what's coming.
Sure.
And then my pull list game is strong. I mean, if you're going to be into comics, recently there was that
pull-out game is strong.
Yeah. Anyway, are we going off the rails here?
A little bit.
For Smash and Grab Comics, I'm Tyler, the self-proclaimed king of comics.
I'm the other one.
Later.